And now, Freelance Heroism.
Hey everybody, welcome to Freelance Heroism. My name is Dees.
And I'm Rachel.
And before we get started, I just want to say thank you to everyone out there who donates to the Patreon, in particular those who donate to producer tier. Rachel, would you like to understand who they are?
I would love to. We want to say thank you to Crispy, Nate, Breakmeister, and Rebecca. Thank you so much, everyone.
You help us make a better show for everyone, and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Rachel.
Dees.
We have a weird episode for everyone today.
We do.
It's strange, but I like it.
Yeah, I had a good time with this one. I think also when I had to edit this, it was nice to have a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
Because it's more of a freestyling,
There's no editing required.
casual episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty good, though. I think everyone's going to like it.
I think so too.
So to put it in perspective, there's a late night show called the Colbert Show, or Late Night with whatever. I don't remember what it's called. Stephen Colbert is the host.
Yeah.
And it's a great show. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But they do this thing, and I always like it, called the Colbert Questionnaire. And what they do is they ask 15 questions to like a celebrity, and then afterwards, based on their answers, you kind of get to know them better, right? And so I figured that's what we'd do. So we had Nate read them off, and then we all answered them. Yeah. And some of them kind of branch off into conversations or stories or stuff like that. So it's just sort of like a hangout podcast. Yeah. With sort of some questions.
And despite your best efforts, Nate also gets to answer these questions.
You know, Nate is just, his voice is so good for that type of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For like it being an announcer and talk, he's just good at that. And so I just forgot. He wasn't just like interviewing us or something. But I felt bad about it after you guys mentioned it, because I'm like, that is a dick thing to do. But he falls into that cut so good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
So it's hard to, I don't know. I'll turn it into a compliment. Just give me time. Anyway, this episode's going to be a lot longer than usual. Normally the episodes are about 40 minutes?
About an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. With the intro. So anyway, this is going to be about twice that long. It's about 2 and change. Right?
I think it's like right at 2, and then however long this intro is.
Yes, yeah, 2 and change.
Yeah.
It's okay. Why, she just wants to correct me. You see that? You mean that exact thing I said? Right. Okay. So I hope you guys like it, and then we'll get back to regular episodes coming up soon.
Yeah.
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 Anyway, enjoy.
All right. Should we have like a title announcement, or?
It's called Long Ass Episode. I don't know. We'll call it the Colbert Questionnaire.
Okay.
By the way, just which do you? We should all take the. You've ever seen the Colbert Questionnaire? Look up the questions for the Colbert Questionnaire. Can we add one more chunk of time to this thing? I want to see everyone's answers.
Okay.
The Colbert Questionnaire features 15 questions designed to explore various aspects of a person's life and opinions.
Yeah.
These questions cover a wide range of topics, from food preferences and personal possessions to beliefs about death and favorite movies. Here are the 15 questions.
They say once you answer these, you are known. That's what they say. That's why it's very funny.
Okay.
Who's answering first?
I'll read them out if one of you wanted to take them. I assume you've already taken this, or
no, I haven't. I just see celebrities take it all the time, so I thought it'd be fun to get everyone of us to do it.
All right. So here is the first question: best sandwich.
Who wants to answer?
I actually thought about this the other day, and I'm gonna say the best sandwich that I've had was the sandwich that I would make when I worked at a sandwich shop, which was you would like in a pan put roasted red peppers, fresh tomato, onions, and fresh spinach. and like saute it, and then like I would kind of tip the pan and get it to like the fire to like hit
Flambe.
the flambe it. And then toast like sub bread through the toaster and add Swiss cheese and chipotle mayo and put that all together. Oh, and it also had artichoke hearts in it too
Hmm.
that you would flambe together, and it was so good, and I can't find anything comparable to it up here.
Dees, what's the best sandwich?
Part of me wants to say cheesesteak, but I think that that's not being completely honest. I think
Okay.
a sandwich called a cooler is the best sandwich.
Okay.
And a
What is a
cooler
cooler?
is buffalo chicken, like
Okay.
chopped up with the extra super hot sauce on it, and it's
Mhm.
super hot.
Mhm.
And then you put that, and then on the bread you put ranch dressing and cucumbers and lettuce,
Okay.
and then that's the sandwich. So you've got like the super hot meat, and
Yeah.
then the super cool vegetables, and it's just like a perfect space. Like each bite has hot and cold at the same time. It's like heats up in your mouth and then cools down right away.
Okay.
It's amazing.
D-Walk, what's the best sandwich?
Uh, I they call it an Indian summer down here.
Mhm.
It is a yellow curry tuna salad sandwich.
Oh.
Oh, that's fancy as fuck.
I was meant to say.
I can be a bougie bitch with my sandwich.
Well, I mean, it is best sandwich, so I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it should absolutely be bringing your A game. I think the best sandwich I've ever eaten, and I've never been able to find a duplicate, much in the same way that Rachel. When I went to Texas A&M University, we had the big dining hall right across from my dorm, Sabisa Dining Hall. But then underneath it in the basement, they built what they called the underground, which was a bunch of fast food restaurants like Wendy's and Taco Bell and all that kind of stuff, right? So there was a place there called Alante Deli, and they did a club sandwich. And I mean, club is kind of basic, right? But what they
Yeah.
did, it was a multigrain bread, bib lettuce. They used a basil mayonnaise and a stone ground mustard, candied bacon,
Oof.
ham, turkey, and man, that thing was fucking awesome. And I would have it like
Mhm.
2 or 3 times a week because I could
Cool.
go down there and swipe my card and buy my meal there as opposed to going to the dining hall and eating whatever fucking slop was on the cafeteria line, right?
Mhm.
And that when I in my senior year, they decided to completely remodel the dining hall, so they shut the underground down, and I was never able to have it again.
Ooh.
And it was closed until after I graduated, like long after I graduated. And a couple of years ago, I got to go back to Texas A&M to meet with a group at the petroleum engineering department, and I'm like, I'm going to go to the underground. I'm going to go have me one of those fucking sandwiches. And they'd shut the fucking deli down and replaced it with a Whataburger, and I was never more
Aw.
disappointed in my fucking life. I was like, you sons of bitch. So I can never have that sandwich again. And the basil mayo is what
Mhm.
sold that fucking thing. That and the
It's like
bacon.
like an aioli.
Yeah, and it didn't even, I mean, it was heavy on the basil, and it really tasted good. Like, I mean, that was not like a store bought, fucking Cisco mayo, right? I mean, this was something they were making in
You gotta
house.
make it. You gotta make it.
You have
You
to
gotta
make it. You
yeah.
absolutely have to make it.
Okay.
So,
Next question.
next question. Rachel, what's one thing you own that you should really throw out?
Oh. Um, hmm. I'm gonna say, well, like, what do you mean by threat?
Yeah.
Like it's
I think you're answering the
useless,
question.
or
I think you're answering the question
Yeah,
without answering it.
what's one thing you own that you should really throw out?
um, gosh, I just threw out like a lot of stuff in my move,
Yeah,
actually.
but did you still have that you should
Do you,
throw out?
yeah. Do you still have
See
something?
how she's trying to hedge here? Just answer the question.
I will say, um, I have a couple like I'm actually planning on donating these to Goodwill. They're in my car right now, so I have not yet gotten rid of them. But I found a couple like cast iron, like like a cast iron griddle, I think, or
Mhm.
like a big flat pan, and then like a Dutch oven thing.
Wait a minute.
And
You have a
I've
cast
never,
iron and you're gonna
yeah,
throw them out?
I've never used them.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Keep those.
I don't
God
use
damn it,
them.
Rachel.
So I'm gonna
Season them
donate them
motherfuckers
to.
and cook with them.
I don't know
Good
how to
Lord.
season them, and I like
You put
when I
oil, you
moved
put it in the oven, and you
when I
come back
moved
in a
into my
couple
old
hours.
place. I never
You have a
used
boyfriend that'll
them.
do it for you.
So just put them somewhere and don't fuck with them, and I'll get to them.
Next time next time he gets out there, he'll take care of it.
All
Just
right.
don't fuck with them. I'll fix them.
Okay.
Good God. Just gonna throw away fucking cast irons. Are they rusted?
never
They're not
used
rusted,
them.
right?
I don't think so. They've just been sitting
No.
like in a cabinet for like the last 5 or 6 years.
Okay, just to leave them in the cabinet. I'll cook you something with them, and they'll be great.
Okay.
Cast irons hold heat really well. You
Yeah.
want to keep those.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
They'll
right.
also last for like 1 billion years. So
Okay.
Yeah.
don't throw those out.
We don't have I mean, it's not a cast iron Dutch oven, it's a ceramic coated one, right?
Oh,
But I mean, it still holds
Still
heat
good.
the way that a cast iron does. That's what I fried fish in when we did fish and shrimp the other day. And man, I was like, it's a pain in the ass to fry, but that thing holds heat. Like you could dump stuff in, and typically like the oil temperature will really drop, and then you got to wait for it to come back up. Not that son of a bitch, man. That thing held heat. I kept the thermometer on it, and even like an hour later, the oil was still sitting at like 225.
That's
like,
crazy.
God.
They're so good.
They are so good.
All right. So
one
something
thing
I
you
need to
should
throw out. My hat. It is
hat.
fucking absolutely wretched.
Oh.
It is so busted and fucked up, and like, but I do this with everything. Like, in particular, my hats. I have a close personal connection to my hats. I'll have like the one I have now. I've had for 10 years.
Wow.
I bought it at a fucking like one of those shops that's like I don't know. It's like you know where people go and they take like things you buy in bulk, and they just were like, I only needed 5 of these and I bought 200 and then just like leave them there. Well, that's what happened. I went in and there were these misprinted hats from this old like fucking they have this place where they sell statues like gargoyles and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so like this person thought I need merch, and so they printed like millions of these hats. Right? There's so many of them, but nobody wants to buy merch for a place that sells lawn gargoyles. So they just had like fucking shit tons, and also they misspelled one of the words on it. So it's called Gathering Garlenium,
Okay.
whatever. And it's this, and the hat is so nasty that literally the gargoyle emblem on there is just like a faint memory. Right? When I went to the store, I bought like 20 of them because they were like 2 for $1 for these hats. And I bought a shit ton of them, and I had them in my closet, and I just go through them so fucking hard. Right? So like I'll wear this hat every day for 2.5 years or something like that until it's just completely wrecked, and then I take it and I toss it in a pile, and I grab a new one of them and I just wear it until it's dead. And this is literally my last one. I've had these since I was like 19 years old.
Wow.
Stack of hats. And I went back to look for them, and they don't have any more.
Oh.
So this is the last one in existence. I thought the last one I had was the last one in existence, and then I came back to this house, and I was going through the closet, and I found one in there, and it was like magic. It was like the best day ever. That was like 5 years ago. And this hat is fucked up. It is hanging on. The little button snaps on the back are like, there's like 2 teeth left on it. It is hanging in there though. This is my guy. And like, it's so soft that if I set it on the table, it just collapses. It's a trucker cap. It's not supposed to just collapse flat like a, I love it. I think of my hats like cowboys think of theirs. I love them, and when I have one, I have it for fucking forever. And I should throw it out because if you saw it, you would get it. But I'm not going to. I will literally rip a hole through the top of it with my head.
You're just going to wait until it starts to break down on a molecular level, and then
I've
maybe
had hats
you'll
do
get
that. I swear to God, I had a Boston hat that literally started to just fizzle away like it didn't exist anymore. Like it was like a ghost hat.
It was like Thanos snapped, right? It just kind of started.
Yeah, it was like halfway
blowing.
through, it was like half of Tom Holland is gone.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I don't feel
Yeah.
so good, Mr. Deese.
Well, tough it out, bitch. There ain't no more of you.
D-Walk,
Yeah.
what is something you own? What's one thing you own that you should really throw out?
My surfboard.
Oh.
Ooh.
When's the last time you
It
went
had-
surfing?
It's like
20 years
1974.
ago?
Oh.
No, 20 years ago. It has a hole in the nose. It has another hole in the bottom of the board. You got to suck the water out of it before you use it, because or when you're done using, because otherwise you're gonna. It was my aunt's before it was mine, and it's a short board. It can't even hold me up no more.
Can you ever repair it?
Yeah.
I had an idea. I was gonna actually cut it down the middle and make it into shelves when we
Oh,
got
that's
to the
cool.
new place.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But it's been sitting there unserved for like the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah, I don't think
I
you
think the
should
last-
throw that out.
Last time I used it, I got pneumonia. It was like November.
You think it was
And
related to the board?
no, hell no. It was like 5 a.m. in November, and I was out in the waters. And, dude, it could have been something that came up from TJ. I don't know.
The board did it.
The board you wake up in the middle of one night and the board's over and it's breathing heavy and coughing in your face with the consumption.
All right, next question.
Oh, well,
I
what
get
about
to
my
answer.
mate?
Yeah, fuck
Oh,
you.
oh yeah. Oh, I forgot that you're a person.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
He's
sorry.
so
No, he's
old.
doing the question.
I know I'm doing the questions.
I always
the
forget.
one thing that I own right now that you just really throw out. It's not something I own it because it's in my possession, although I inherited it. When we moved into this house back in 2018, in the garage, so like over here just to my left are the stairs that go up to the second story. And underneath the stairwell, of course, there's like a big open space, right? Well, a lot of houses sometimes will put a door on the inside and you can use that as storage. Well, in my house, they put the hole on the wall in the garage. So it's actually outside storage. So when we bought the house and we moved in and I started moving stuff in, that whole thing was empty, except at the very back of it is this massive slab of fucking marble. It doesn't match anything else in this house. I have absolutely no idea what purpose it serves. It's not like a sink. It's just a giant slab of marble. The thing weighs 850 fucking pounds. And I'm like, well, I need to get rid of this. And then I was struck with this the question of, how do you get rid of a big ass slab of marble? I don't know, because the garbage the garbage won't pick it up. Well, I mean, it's like, but how the fuck do I get that?
That's
Maybe
why it's still there.
Are you sure they didn't build the house around the marble?
Well, I'm kind of questioning that now. Is like, what's older, the house or the slab of marble that's there?
load-bearing marble.
It's like an inch and a half. Well, the thing about it is that it leans up against the wall. And like anytime I go in there and I start moving shit around, if I accidentally hit it, that damn thing will try and fall. And I'm like, I'm going to get crushed to death by an 850-pound slab of marble. But I don't know what the fuck to do with it. And I've been wanting to get rid of it because it's a pain in the ass and it's in the way, but it's so big and so heavy. I don't know what to do with it. So I guess
think you pitch it online. All you got to do is come get it.
That's
if
true.
you can get it, treat it like the sword of the stone.
I would, you know what? I'd love to do that about a lot of things. And my wife has this really weird thing about, like, I've got a dryer right now. I could probably add that to the list of the one thing. I actually have two things. We have our old dryer that I was trying to give to someone. It's a perfectly good dryer. I'm like, does anybody need a really good electric dryer? I don't want to throw it away. It's, and nobody needs a dryer apparently right now. So I'm like, well, I guess we could just put it on Facebook, Marketplace and sell it. Jennifer's like, we're not going to do that. I don't want people knowing where we live. And I'm just like,
what?
Didn't say it was rational. Just said that's the, so
Okay.
I can't put it on Facebook Marketplace. Can't put it on Craigslist. Can't put it on any place to get rid of it. So I still have a dryer sitting in my garage being unused now for 2 months, and I can't park my car in it.
Oh.
It's not nearly as heavy, nor do I think it will kill me the way an 850-pound slab of granite will, but it's still a pain in my ass. So, but yes, right
Marble
now,
slab is not where I thought you were going.
Yeah.
that is, it's weird, but that's the thing. So, all right, next question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rachel, what's the scariest animal?
Oh. The I mean, I could say man, but I will say I will say the brain-eating amoeba. I think that's very scary.
That's that's pretty scary. I'll give you that. Because that one you ain't coming back from.
Mhm.
Uh, Dees, scariest animal.
Ants.
Ooh.
Ants,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Think about going to sleep, and then while you're asleep, the ants crawl in your ear,
Oh my
and they get
God.
inside your brain, and they just start chewing down. Because
Mhm.
you ever see a
Yeah.
bird try to get away from those fucking things?
Oof.
Dude, no.
Yeah,
Ants are
once you're
not
once
fucking
you're
around.
yeah.
But you got too many holes in your body to be fucking around with ants. You know what I mean? There are too many holes on you. That's not good. Imagine just like 10,000 ants while you're sleeping just crawl in your pee hole. Shit. Shit. What are you gonna do? You'd have to jerk off real hard just to get them to shoot out.
Dude.
And you never get all of them. You know?
There was the dude
still
on Naked
like
Afraid
weeks,
that got his dick bit by an ant.
months later, you'd feel a tickle in your balls. You'd be like, oh no.
Oh.
God, you just sparked a memory.
Wow.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
Mhm.
Did you ever see the show called Brain Dead?
No.
No.
Okay, almost no one else did either.
We call it the
Was-
Kardashians here.
No, so it was technically a CBS show, but I think it ended up moving over to like I don't know, whatever the fuck you call it, the CW or whatever like that. It was like
Ooh, demotion.
yeah, a demotion. It was effectively like a science fiction political black comedy
Right.
where this asteroid lands on Earth and lands just outside of Washington, D.C. And as all of these scientists and politicians are arguing about what to do with this and everything, these tiny little ant like creatures start crawling out of it and crawling into the ears of politicians. And they act like, you know, how like the wasp, the parasitic wasp or something can like sting an animal, control its brain.
Yeah.
So these alien ants start controlling politicians and fucking everything up, right? Like it wasn't already being fucked up to begin with.
Mhm.
But it was just this really weird, and I remember like watching one episode of it and just like I can't watch this anymore. This is unwatchable. The only reason why it's like memorable to me is that at the start of every episode, Jonathan Coulton did the theme song,
Oh.
and like he would insert himself like breaking the fourth wall into the theme song, kind of like the way the Gary Shandling show would do. Like the theme song was explaining to you that you were watching a TV show. It was like the theme song was catchy, and then everything else after it was crap. But you said ants crawling into ears, and I don't know why, but that popped into my
It
head.
terrifies me. I think about
yeah.
this shit all the time. If I have a soda or something at a barbecue and I set it down for a second,
Mhm.
it's dead.
Oh.
It's dead. I can't drink it.
Can't drink
Because
it.
you ever listen to a soda that you set down? It always sounds like there's bugs in there. Can't do it.
Yeah.
It's like made to sound like bees and shit.
Yeah. D-Walk, scariest animal.
Shit. Spiders freak me out, dude. There's nothing out there that like. I mean, like I can deal with centipedes. I can deal with snakes.
Mhm.
I can fucking deal with scorpions. Like, I mean, Komodo dragons will fuck you up, but like that's like I got no fear. I'm nowhere near them.
But they're big enough
yeah.
that you see them coming.
Yeah, I was
Oh
about
yeah,
to
yeah,
say,
like
yeah.
dude, like I mean, the bite worries me on those fuckers, but no,
Yeah.
dude, you see them coming. Dude.
Yeah, they're
Spiders, like
big.
fuck that shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like nothing makes me fucking go nuts like a fucking finding a spider crawling on me when I'm asleep and I wake up and just nope.
Let me put
Like
it to you this way.
I burn rooms, dude. Like fucking
never
like
more than 8
lighters and
feet away
fucking
from a
spray and like, dude, I made that room smell like napalm. Like it died, but
yeah, and like you
I
won't
chased it
put
with a
your
blowtorch
hand-
once.
A blowtorch. Oh shit.
Okay,
That's how he likes
I
his
was at
workouts.
work.
That's fucking commitment.
I was at work and we were getting rubber shipped in from Arizona because we do crumb rubber, natural rubber in our rubber mixes. They came with these honking ass tarantulas attached to the bag sometimes.
Oh.
And these fuckers are bigger than like the size of my hand. And they chased me across the damn yard.
Yeah.
So they got me on camera running one way. And then I ran to the rubber plant. And it's a 5-gallon propane tank hooked up with a hose and this long weed burner thing. I cranked that bitch up, and they caught me on camera chasing it back across the yard.
Roasting. God. What? Everybody's saying something like triggers a memory. It's weird.
The flamethrower part?
No, not the spider part. So, like, when I was in my early teens, my grandfather had to make a delivery of the campers that he built from Houston all the way to Corona, California. So we decided to make it like a family vacation, summer vacation kind of thing. So it was him and my grandmother and me and my younger brother and my younger sister. And so we drove from Houston all the way to Los Angeles. And as we're driving through Arizona, we're driving and I hear my grandfather, like we're in the back, I hear my grandfather going, "What the hell is that on the road?" And like we all look out and like there's just like black dots all over the highway in front of us. And we're like, "What in the hell is it?" And then as we got into it, it was just thousands of tarantulas. And if that wasn't bad enough, then the sound of running over 1,000 tarantulas was even worse. And and like we were like, "Well, do we need to? No, we don't need to stop. Do you kids need to go? No, we'll wait till we get to a major metropolitan area. That's okay. We'll just piss our pants. We're fine with that." It was like, I'm not getting out knowing that there was like a herd of fucking tarantula running across the freeway.
What's yours, Nate?
So I hate wasps with the passion of 1,000 burning suns. Both white Anglo-Saxon Protestants and the animal. Only one of them I'm allowed to spray with chemicals and kill, unfortunately. So, but like, I remember, like, I mean, I will run a motherfucker. I will knock my own damn children down to get away from a fucking red wasp because those things are fucking evil incarnate. But like, I got freaked out a few years ago because you remember the story about the Asian giant hornets that they had started finding in like Washington State and everything, and they're like, Asian giant hornets are going to fucking take over America and all this, and I'm like, okay, how big is big? And then they show one, and it's like the size of my fucking fist, and I'm like, nope. I am moving to Antarctica. Fuck that.
I hate to go back to ants, guys, but you know, in Australia, they have these things called the leafcutter ants. Have you ever heard of them?
Yes, fuck those things.
Yes.
They literally migrate once a year, and they just start walking in a direction, like millions of them. And if you're asleep in your house, they'll kill you. They will just eat everything that they come across.
Yep.
They will just swarm over your walls, over your house, crawling through your windows, just shred the meat from your bones and keep going. It's fucking nightmarish.
Everything in Australia is trying to kill you, isn't it? Isn't they just gonna, yeah.
Well, that's where the smoke monster would probably hang out.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
Apples or oranges?
I'm sorry, D-Walk, were you saying something?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Rachel, apples or oranges?
Apples.
Dees, apples or oranges?
Apple.
D-Walk.
Apple.
I also say apple.
You know why? Because you can put peanut butter on an apple.
You can't put peanut butter on orange, but you can dip an orange in chocolate. So I mean,
Stephen Colbert does that every time they ask that question. So I figured I'd do a tribute to him and say it as well. Okay.
Okay.
I like oranges, but I'll take an apple over an orange. I like sweet as opposed to acidic.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yes, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'll mix some of these up.
No, don't mix them up. Do them in order.
You want to do it? Okay, I'll do them in order. Okay. Rachel, have you ever asked someone for their autograph?
Yes. I mean, it was like author signings, like Joe Hill, Grady Hendrix. So like I didn't like cold approach someone at like a restaurant and be like, "Can I get your autograph?" It was like events where they were promoting their books, and then I would bring their book to get it signed.
Okay. Dees?
Sanford Green, an artist from I think South Carolina. He's fantastic. I just love his art. He's great. When I saw him, he set up a table like a little bit, and I felt like a complete dweeb because I was like a new artist,
Mhm.
and I'd only done a show at this place like one time, but I needed to have him sign something, and so I went over there and I was like that poster, and it was like for a new fucking thing he was putting together, some art book or whatever. It was just
Uh-huh.
like a poster for it, and I got it. It was like one of the last things he had because it was at the end of the day, and I was like, "Can you sign it?" And he's like, "Yeah," and he signed it, and I was like, "Thank you." And then I went back and I just stared at it for like a long time. I felt like a fucking dweeb. I still feel like a dweeb. I still have it, and the guy's just incredible. Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, he did some of the art for Heroes for Hire. By the way, T-Walk.
Oh,
cool.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very
D-Walk,
nice.
have you ever asked someone for their autograph?
Uh, 3 people.
Okay.
Does it have to be in person?
Well, no.
It's just if you've ever yeah, I would say no. It's
Okay.
just, did you ask
3.
someone? Okay.
David Michael, um, David Michael Beck. He was doing G.I. Joe art for oh fuck, what was that? What was that under that indie group under Devil's Due Publishing? They worked under Image for a moment,
Mhm.
and then they separated. And then the guy thought he was fucking Tom McFarlane, and he crashed his fucking.
Oh, that'll happen.
Yeah. Second one was the guy that was running it, Josh. Josh, I want to say Baylock or Balick. He was the main guy that was actually running that thing.
Mhm.
And then our David Clark.
Oh shit.
Hey.
Oh. Did I give it to you?
Yeah.
I hear him on
I
telephone.
probably got like 10 of them
I
signed
was
by
about
you.
to say that guy's a real
Oh.
asshole. I'm surprised you got one from him.
Yeah,
Dude.
I forget sometimes people ask me to sign things to sign. I appreciate it, man. That's very nice of you to say.
Yeah.
I never have.
Wow.
Wow.
I've never asked someone for an autograph. Now I've gotten an autograph, but it was unsolicited. But I've
How's
never
that work?
asked.
It's like,
Well, he
here,
was
let me
there
get-
and
let
they
me get
signed
my-
his head.
Yeah, no, I got Bob Barker's autograph.
Oh
What?
shit.
What?
Price is wrong, bitch.
I got Bob Barker's autograph when I was 6 years old.
He signed my
Oh.
thin microphone.
Yeah, no, so back in 1984,
Mhm.
going
Nate had
backwards.
just turned 70.
I just turned 70. Yeah, I just qualified for Social Security that morning. I remember it like it was
Hold
yesterday.
on, wait. What year?
1984.
What month?
Oh, this was during the summer, but maybe it was June.
I had just been born.
Wow.
So what, you just walk up and sign something?
No.
Yes.
So,
The Nate middle fingers, the Rachel
Yes.
head slap.
no. So during the summer of 1984,
Mhm.
the Prices Were Right went on hiatus because they were remodeling what was then, I guess, that was becoming the Bob Barker studio where they filmed it, right?
Yeah.
So they did this thing where they did the Price is Right road show, and they basically went around to major cities, and for like 1 or 2 nights, they reenacted the show, and you could sit in the audience, and they would call up audience members to play. And I mean, it wasn't like going up there, you could win a brand new car, but you could win prizes and stuff like that. So my mom and my grandmother went, and they took me, 6 years old. And there is a photograph of this somewhere, and I can't find the photograph, but I know it exists. It'll probably turn up when my parents die or something, and we start digging through shit. But there's a picture of me. I was, for whatever reason, my mother decided to dress me in a suit and tie at 6 years old. And we went to this show, and I basically stood in this folding metal chair the entire time so I could actually see something above everybody. So at one point, Bob Barker comes walking through the audience and spots me and comes over and asks me to spell a couple of words, right? And I'm
Yeah.
6 and like cute kid in a bow tie and a fucking, So he's like really impressed and I can still fucking remember this. It's weird some of the things that my brain will latch onto and keep. But he like does this and he asked me to spell cat and dog and all this kind of shit. And everybody goes, oh, and all that kind of shit. And so he tells my mom, go up on stage. We've got a prize for your son.
Okay.
So she goes up there, and of course I can't see because it's like way the fuck up, and and everything. And he's done going off to somebody else, and he's doing his thing. So my mom comes back with this giant stuffed dog,
What?
and this giant stuffed Saint Bernard. That's what they decided to give me, right? And as she's giving it to me, and I'm like holding this thing, right, and everything, he comes back by and he signs it on the butt, and then he walks on. So like the autograph is like barely there now, but that dog was still in my grandmother's house when she passed and my grandfather passed. My mom was cleaning out the closet and found that damn dog, and like all the polyfill is completely degraded. And it's a sad looking thing, but you could just barely make out Bob Barker on this dog's ass. And so yes, I got an unsolicited autograph from Bob Barker when I was 6
That
years
is
old.
a wild fucking story. I'm going to be
Yeah.
perfectly
But
honest
it is I wish I could find my mom had a Polaroid camera with her and took a Polaroid of me standing there with Bob Barker, and we know it exists somewhere and just can't find the fucking thing. So
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Guys, I think we released this as the episode for the in-between.
Yeah.
This is so good. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next question.
Rachel, what do you think happens when we die?
I think it's the same thing that happens before you're born, is that there's nothing.
Dees?
I think that I get to rule over the universe to my liking. I think that it's all the things that have made me angry in my lifetime, I get to fix for the next generation.
Okay.
Ah.
From my extra dimensional seat above.
Mhm.
No, I'm kidding. I think when you're dead, you probably get worm fooded, and that's it.
Yeah.
But I think that's important though, that happens, and that it makes now more important than it
Mhm.
does if it isn't. Like if you have 50 of something, they're not valuable, right?
Right.
But if you have one of something, like the last
Yeah.
hat, it becomes very valuable.
My life is like this trucker's cap,
Yeah, it's falling apart. Yeah, it's a piece of shit.
but it's the
That's
only
all I
one I've got.
Yeah.
D-Walk.
Heaven or hell.
Binary. No purgatory. So
Well, purgatory didn't
no
they get rid of
limbo.
that? I think they got rid of that now.
I don't know. The Catholic Church changes the rules all the fucking time. Who the hell knows?
So what do you think about heaven, D-Walk? What do you think it's like?
There's things that it's written about, but mainly it's just peace. Peace and worship, pretty much. Just no sickness, nothing weighing you down, nothing destroying you. Your body's, it's gone, so it's just spirit. So it's not like, you got any of this sickness or like this fucked up shit that goes on in our bodies.
Yeah.
Like,
It's kind of nice.
I mean, they talk about, you're able to put your hand in a serpent's hole and it doesn't bite. You can see the lion lay with, the lamb lay with the lion, and there's nothing wrong. I mean,
Oh man,
There-
you can
there-
make so many spider friends and not have to worry about that.
oh, Rachel,
like, put your
they're all
hand in the
burning in
hole, but the
hell. Those
spiders
spiders
are
are burning in hell.
Yeah.
He saw the spiders are in hell.
Jesus ain't got time for no damn spiders.
No.
Can you imagine a
spiders go to hell.
spider angel?
Oh
How many
my God.
wings
How
does
many
a spider
wings
angel
does it
have?
have?
Actually,
Biblically accurate spider
biblically
angel.
accurate angels actually have like multiple eyes. They
Yeah.
are not the pretty things that you think they're
Yeah.
not so painted on the the side of the Smithsonian or whatever it is.
Right.
Multiple. Okay, so they have multiple eyes. Do they have multiple arms?
Pos.
Sounds like a spider.
Rachel,
Hey,
we'll talk about
and,
this.
Yeah.
and that's how D-Walk became an atheist.
If Jesus were a spider, that crucifix would be gnarly though, right?
Oh,
Okay, next. I'm sorry.
oh,
Oh,
no,
Nate,
no,
Nate.
no.
Oh, Nate, I'm sorry, Nate.
Nate.
He's like the MC. I just think that he's like the MC. I don't think about it.
Listeners,
Sorry.
I want you to
Remember, all
send
hate
your
mail goes to D's.
complaints to 1d4rounds@gmail.com.
But you
Subject,
do
treat
you hear
Nathan
that?
like a person.
Do you hear that voice? He's like the disembodied voice that narrates our lives, right? He's like the Sam Jackson that narrates my life.
Got me over here fucking doing nature documentaries.
Oh no, that's Sam Jackson.
That's Sam Jackson. Look at them motherfucking penguins. What do you think happens when we die? I think our souls go to a parking garage in Paramus, New Jersey.
That's why it's so crowded up there.
That's why it's so crowded up there. No, I was born and raised Catholic until I reached the age of reason. So, there was a the whole concept of heaven and hell, and in my case, purgatory and limbo before we decided to co-opt them back onto heaven, I guess, where they belong or something. I don't know. But I'm a scientist, and I think it's a nice idea to think that your soul could go somewhere else. I mean, I think it's an idyllic situation, right? But from a scientific standpoint, it doesn't jibe with me, and that's why I'm an atheist. But as a scientist, there is the part of me that wonders. Like, I don't believe in a heaven or a hell or any concept like that, but
conservation of energy.
Conservation of energy. That's that's exactly it. It's like, at the end of the day, I'm nothing but a bunch of electrical signals, right?
Yeah.
Like, my brain's firing off and neurons are telling other neurons what to do, and and shit's happening until it doesn't. And a lot of that gets dissipated as heat, and a lot of that, is going to go away and everything, but it's like, what happened? It's like there is a little part of me that is like something goes somewhere, right? It's not a soul, it's not but the transference of energy, it's like what happens, right? Where does that signal go?
Your ribbons are still vibrating, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there is that little piece that's just kind of like, that's that. And again, it's not in a Christian sense or a religious sense or anything of that nature.
It's not,
but
not
it is
necessarily
kind of like,
sentient, but
but
that energy goes somewhere.
The energy goes somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And so, would it
I
be
guess
nice?
If you think about it like that, then reincarnation really is kind of not.
And you took the words right out of my mouth. It's kind of like, insofar that if you wanted to believe in that kind of thing, okay, that I could see maybe, but
well,
at the end of the day,
your particles will become something.
Yeah.
Entropy works and becomes chaos, but eventually, you'll be other things. Yeah.
Yep. I will be food for the next generation. 30 eventually, 50 billion years ago, the sentient dinosaurs will come back around and make oil out of me. So
I don't think that's how that works.
I don't know, but yeah. So that's what I think.
Okay.
All right, number 7, Rachel. What's your favorite action movie?
The Mummy.
Solid.
The one with Brendan Fraser in it.
Yes.
There have been other
iterations
of the Mummy.
Yes.
That one is my favorite.
Yes. A good solid science fiction action kind of comedy
with a librarian.
And I think if internet memes are to be believed, the reason why bisexuals exist.
Okay, can I tell you guys a funny story? It's attached to the Mummy.
Okay. Yeah.
I went to a convention one time. It was a Dragon Con, actually, and I had just got up one day and had reached into my bag and grabbed like a pair of pants and a t-shirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And had put them on. I had a messenger bag that I carried with me everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And so I go to this thing, we're walking through the autograph area or whatever, and I get some people that come up to me and they like snap a quick picture like the cosplayers do, and I'm like, what just happened? Right? And I'm like, whatever. So like I throw my messenger bag over my shoulder again, or across my chest or whatever, and I start to walk. And then another person's like, hey, can I take a photo? And I'm like, yeah, I guess. And they're like, hey, and they all lean in. There's like 4 people, like people behind me, and they take a photo. And I'm like, what in the fuck is going on? And I swear to God, they thought I was dressed as Brendan Fraser from The Mummy. because my bag had like straps and shit on it. It was beige, and I was in a t-shirt, and I had cargo pants on,
Yeah.
and they just assumed that I was dressed like that. I'm like, my hair just fell like this. It wasn't intentional. It's been a long day, and I'm sweaty. They were like,
Really
"Oh, that's
selling it.
excellent." I'm like, "What are you fucking talking? What? Who do you think I am?" And they're like,
Right.
"The Mummy," and I'm like, "Get
Like-
away from me."
They're like, you definitely look like you've been sleeping outside for several days.
I
Yeah.
have. It's Dragon Con. I woke up drunk just out there. Okay, no, but I just thought that was a funny thing.
Mhm.
All right, so we'll segue over to you. Favorite action movie?
Oh god, this is so hard for me because what
Yeah.
qualifies as action,
Mhm.
right? I don't know. The genre thing is so hard for me because like Goodfellas is the best movie ever made, and there's some
Right.
actiony stuff in there, but it's not what I would consider action. You need to be jumping off of shit and things
Yeah.
blowing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, does Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels count? That's sort of like a heist film, right? Does Snatch count? Right. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, because we're in a weird spot here.
Yeah.
So, like, when I was a kid, my favorite action movie was Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
All right.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
I watched that movie like 10,000 times. I watched it so many times it was crazy. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's so corny and terrible and bad.
Yeah.
But I just watched it over and over and over again. And as a kid, I just thought these two are so fucking cool.
Right.
This guy is like a motorcycle guy,
Mhm.
and the other guy's like a cowboy, and they like have a gunfight in this fucking airplane field. And I just was like, man, this is some rad shit. Like, and I just as a kid, that's my answer. And I don't now I'm old enough to not know what counts as what. So I'm just
Yeah.
gonna go with Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man because
Okay.
young me knew what the fuck was up. So I'm
Right.
just gonna trust him.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm certain that's wrong.
Okay.
But that's what I'm going with.
D-Walk.
Ah, shit. Um, there's, there's two movies I watch every year.
Okay.
Hello?
I have a feeling I know what one of them is.
Die Hard's at Christmas,
Uh-huh.
and then Boondock Saints is at St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
But there is one movie that I put on in the background. I'll put it on 2-3 times a month, and it's Goonies. Action.
Yeah.
I cannot express to you how much I hate that movie.
It's all good.
I know everybody loves
no-
it. Everybody but me. I'm the only person. I get it. I'm not gonna argue, but
Dude, I put on that one. I put on Princess Diaries. They sit in the background while I'm doing things, working on D&D or something. It just
I have to laugh because if I walk into my bedroom right now where Jennifer is most likely asleep,
Mhm.
Yeah.
mhm.
Jennifer is one of those people that like to put the TV on as they go to bed.
yeah.
It's Goonies, isn't it?
I'm 80% certain if I walked in there right now, it would be Goonies.
Oh my
If
God.
it's not Goonies, then it would be one of a few things. It would either be The Holiday with Cameron Diaz and Jack Black and Jude Law, and for whatever fucking reason.
Oh, okay.
Or it's all dependent upon the time of year, right? So during the summer, it's usually the Goonies. As we move into Halloween and the fall, it's Hocus Pocus.
Mm.
As we move into Christmas, it's The Holiday. And there's one other one. Oh shit, I'm drawing a blank on what it would be. But there are basically 4 movies. I guarantee you, at any given night, if I walk in there, it's almost guaranteed that that's what's going to be playing on the TV. And
Wow.
she is. And the big thing about the Goonies is Goonies just celebrated. It's a big anniversary. Right? It's like the 40th anniversary, I think, this year of the release of that film. So, yeah, it's. And the thing about it is she puts the movie on and she may watch like the first 6 minutes of it, then she passes out. I don't know that she's ever actually watch the movie from start to finish. I'm assuming at some point in her life she has, but
Mhm.
yeah, that's again, D-Walk bringing something up that's like, oh, I know a thing about that. That's weird.
Is my internet wonking out?
Not from what I've seen.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Not that we can see you, but
Yeah,
I
No,
haven't
because
heard it
like you guys
crash.
are muting for a second and then speeding up, so I'm assuming
Oh.
that
Oh,
might
I could be.
Oh,
Yeah,
That could be.
I'm not getting that. You
It's
said
about-
it's storming there, right?
It's really bad. So.
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, by the way, action movie. Since
Uh-huh.
we're talking, because you had me thinking about action movies, Men in Black 3 or Back to the Future 3. I think those should count too.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
But I'll stick with Harley Davidson and Marlboro Man. But those are good. Okay, sorry.
So I'll overlap with D-Walk. I don't, whether I would say it's favorite, I don't know, but it's definitely one of those where if I'm in the mood, I will flip on Die Hard. But I also have a soft spot for Die Hard with a Vengeance,
Yes.
the third one.
That one's the best one.
It is. I think it is absolutely the best one. I mean, Die Hard is the most iconic, but Die Hard with a Vengeance was the most enjoyable in terms
it's the
of
most fun to watch.
with between the dynamic between Bruce Willis and Sam Jackson. It's got a healthy dose.
Puzzles.
The puzzles were awesome,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and the whole subterfuge. With Gruber, basically doing the "don't look over here while I'm doing this." I'm going to distract you while I rob the banks and the gold.
It's the way he reads the riddles that gets me.
Yeah,
because he reads them with such gusto and like spiky, like energy.
Yeah, he totally all of the chewing of scenery you could ask for.
Yeah,
but I'd say those are probably definitely up there.
And every one of those movies has a bunch of crotchety New York dickwads that they just show being crotchety New York dickwads as though they're like a set piece, and that's pretty respectable. Yeah.
All right.
Die Hard with a Vengeance is by far the better of those.
Absolutely. Die Hard 2 is crap. I'm sorry. It was not good.
Die Hard 1 and 2 are okay, but it's like Mad Max 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thunderdome me, baby.
Yep. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Rachel, what's your favorite smell?
I smelled books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That checks.
It seems right for you.
Deese, your favorite smell.
This is gonna be weird, and I apologize in advance because it does not feel like me at all. It feels like the opposite of me.
Okay.
But when I was younger, I used to play football, and you'd go to the football field, and it would be like early morning, like 7:30 in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get there, and the team is arriving. They're like coming out in their cars or whatever. But like that first 15-20 minutes when you get on the field, that smell of the grass, like that grass and rain kind of smell, it's I don't know, something about it. Like I don't know that I would ever smell that again in the same way that I did back then.
Yeah.
But I used to hype me up. I used to get really excited for getting ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I really liked that.
That smell has a name.
Yeah.
Yeah. That smell is
that German, smell is.
No, it's actually it's actually coined by Australian scientists. It's called petrichor. Petrichor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're smelling.
And now maybe gasoline. I like the smell of gasoline. I know they're not the same, and they don't. Trigger. I'm not really a car. I'm not a car person either. Yeah. But there's something about that that smell of not heavily like you huff gasoline, but when it's in the air a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that a lot.
I like the smell of diesel, but it's more like a nostalgic thing.
Yeah.
Diesel. I was going to ask if it was diesel or unleaded.
No, it doesn't matter. It's just like when it's in the air.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if they're like people working on machinery or something like that, or
Yeah.
just that it's like a faint in the air kind of smell. I don't know if it reminds me of like when I was younger,
Mhm.
like mowing lawns and shit like that. I don't know. Just that
Yeah.
smell. I don't know, it's comfortable.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I hate the outside. So the grass and shit like that is upsetting
Right.
to me. I wouldn't want
Right.
to do it now.
Mhm.
But the memory of it's good.
D-Walk, favorite smell?
Um. Hmm. There's two, and it's because I'm a fat guy. Um. Moe's banana bread,
Mm.
and then I enjoy when I've made breakfast and we come back in the house later and it still smells like bacon.
Ah.
It just walk in, you just get hit with bacon. You're like,
Bacon. Yeah.
it's a
Bacon.
good day.
Bacon is pretty good.
Yeah, that post scent after you fry something too is really good.
Yeah.
Yep. All those
It's like
volatile organic carbons.
no, it's like
Uh,
hours after frying chicken, like a couple hours, like you walk back into the room and you like kind of get a whiff of it for a quarter second.
Mhm.
It's nice.
Yeah. Nate.
I It's kind of hard for me to pick a favorite smell because my sense of smell is shit. It just is. I've never had a great sense of smell. Something's really got to be strong in order for it to hit me and for me to actually be able to smell it.
And he's like, and that's why I say cocaine.
Yes, exactly. Actually, that may be part of the problem.
Oh God.
No. I would say so as a chemist, and I think I've talked about this before because we've talked about chirality, right?
Yeah.
There is a chemical compound called carvone that, depending upon whether it's right-handed or left-handed, one way it will smell like peppermint oil, and the other way it will smell like freshly baked rye bread.
Wow.
It's
Oh.
really weird, but that's just the way your receptors will latch onto that particular molecule, and depending upon what hand,
Yeah.
what enantiomer it is, yeah, you'll get a completely different scent out of it. And I remember because we had to actually make both versions of that organic chemistry, and like the peppermint oil was like, wow, it's peppermint oil, it's really strong. But like the fresh baked bread one will like really throw you for a loop. It's like, holy shit, this smells like bread. So I really kind of like that smell, and I like vanillin as well, which is like, I mean, it's vanilla, but it's not quite vanilla. It's a little bit more subtle. To me, like it's almost like if vanilla and bourbon had a baby.
It's smoother.
It's very smooth. It's
Yeah.
not harsh. It doesn't hit you with the hard aromatics when you breathe when you kind of inhale it. So I like vanillin too. But bacon's up there as well. The smell of bacon, like when it's cooked properly. If it's burned, fuck that shit. But that kind of
Bacon
goes with everything.
yeah.
bacon's pretty fucking excellent.
It
It's kind of
is.
hard to beat
It's
bacon.
kind of hard to. It's kind of hard to beat it. But yeah, those would be my favorite smells. So we'll do the other
Nate's.
side. Yeah.
Oh, I was
Oh
gonna
no, go ahead.
say,
Go ahead.
I know we've all been like sharing stories and stuff. I want to say that
Oh yeah.
Nate's cocaine joke reminded me of this video essay I watched recently.
Okay.
So have you guys heard of like the nasal spray Afrin?
Yes.
Yeah.
So apparently that can
People
like
take it like drugs.
yeah, like people can get heavily addicted to it and it will like destroy your nasal cavity.
Yep.
In the essay that I watched, this guy gave an example of how someone who'd been using it like multiple times a day, every day for years, went to the doctor, and the doctor straight up asked them how long they had had a cocaine addiction because that's like how bad the inside of their nasal cavity was.
Just
Do you
ate
know
up the septum.
Do you
Yeah.
know the comedian Nate Bargatze?
Yes.
He has a joke about his dad
uh-huh.
Oh no.
using Afrin nasal spray for like 35 years.
That's like in the essay they were talking about like people have a
Wow.
seriously heavy addiction to it and
Yeah.
they get the sensation of not being able to breathe when they're not on it. So
Yeah.
they it like reinforces them having to use it.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty gnarly.
yeah, so don't get started on it.
Not even once.
Not
after.
even once.
Yes, Afrin, not even once.
That's right.
Afrin's active ingredient is a compound called oxymetazoline. It's a nasal decongestant that basically constricts blood vessels in the nose. When used for more than a few days, it can lead to a condition called rhinitis medicamentosa.
Mhm.
To avoid addiction, it's important to follow instructions and use it for no more than 3 to 5 days at a time.
That is on the
3 to
tiny
5
print.
days.
Yeah.
3 to
Yeah.
5 days is all it takes for you to get hooked on this stuff.
And after that, you have to just dip your finger in butter and wipe it on the inside of your nose holes. That'll smooth it right out. You're fine.
Oh God.
Sorry, I just wanted to
No.
mention that.
That's the whole name of this game, I think, is what weird story have you got to go along with that one? Okay, so we've asked favorite smell. We'll flip it to the other side of the coin. What's your least favorite smell?
Oh. Hmm.
Rachel's like Dees after Indian food.
Oh my God, Deets after eating Thai
Thai.
food?
It was Thai.
Oh,
Oh God, that was
I will admit.
disgust.
I will admit. I was even surprised.
It
I
was
was surprised.
bad. It was
It
very...
so bad.
have you never eaten Thai food before? Or was it
I've
just
eaten
like
Thai
made
food before, but this one was just there was something special about this concoction.
because
This
it was made
this
in
brew-
Maine?
This brew came out hard, and let me tell you, it hung in the air like a thick cloud.
If
It
you
would
could-
not move.
If you could describe a smell as cursed, it would have been
It was.
It
It was so bad that I literally smelled it, gave myself
Oh.
a headache, and then
Oh,
looked at
no.
Rachel, and she went, "What the fuck?" And like we both went outside, and when we came back in, it was still there, and it had lost none
We
of its
went-
edge.
Oh,
We instead of staying like in the house and just going to a different room, we went outside in Maine in November.
It was like 20 degrees outside, and it was better. It was better.
It was better.
It was so much better. I was like, "Do we need to leave the doors open?" Just but it was in there even like the next day. It was a little bit in there.
It was.
It was like the blanket kind of smelled a little
Oh,
weird.
God.
Sorry.
I'm gonna say that for my
Sorry. That's not my worst smell, but I just thought
Yeah.
that was up there. I remember the face you gave me.
I always remember one of Carlin's bits. It was he talked about the density, like the two qualities of a fart, where it's density and its persistency.
Yeah.
So it's like how long does it hang around, and like how how thick of a fog are you walking through when you encounter one?
It's like the physics of it, right? Like
Yeah.
the heavier it is, the slower time moves.
Yeah.
You know?
Ugh.
Was that the answer to the question?
That's my answer. Yes.
Okay. Fair
Dees
enough.
Dees after eating Thai food.
Thai food. Dees.
I don't know. Part of me wants to say that because I do remember
Yeah.
how potent that was. It was really bad. It was really bad. I don't know. I think the paper mill up here.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
But I'm gonna be honest with you though, smells that are bad don't really fuck with me. Like they do at first. Like if they smell bad at first, I'm like off put by them.
Mhm.
But then there's something that happens in my brain where I'm like, this is so unique. You should experience how bad this is. Like almost like sour candy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
this isn't good, but it's an experience, right? So like the paper mills here smell like absolute horseshit. They're like the worst smelling thing ever.
Yep.
But I used to have to drive past them on the way to work all the time. And over time, I was like, this is a unique smell. It's unique. And so that makes it good. It doesn't smell good.
Yeah.
I know that. But like in my brain, I was like, this is so bad that it's unique. And that makes it valuable to me in a way. So like, I don't really have a smell that smells so bad that I like even fucking smelling salts. right? Like, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Those
Yeah.
or the amyl nitrate things, the fucking snap it, put it under your nose
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Even those, they're like unique, and so I like them. I there's not really, I don't have a really a bad smell. Something can smell off,
Right.
like it's connected to something that has gone poorly, but I don't think the smell ever is bad to me, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. I mean, it's unpleasant, but if you give me long enough, I'll be like, I can appreciate this. I know that's weird. I know that's a weird thing to say, but
No.
Yeah.
it's
There's
true.
there's a few paper mill towns up here, and the
Yeah.
smell of the towns is the first thing anyone says about the towns as soon as
Yep.
they're mentioned.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, like, if it's something that you don't smell often, if you
Mhm.
smell like once a month or something like that, just next time you're there, just like try to appreciate it for what it is. The
Mhm.
insanity of how bad it smells or how uniquely different than everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like they have this fruit. Is it called the the Chiron fruit or
Yes.
is that what it's
I
called?
think it's yeah, I think that's it. I know what you're talking about.
It's a fruit that smells so bad that I
Mhm.
can't remember what it's called. The something fruit. But in Japan and in Asian countries, you're not allowed to bring it on the subway.
Durian.
Durian fruit. There it
Yes.
is. And they say it smells so insanely bad. I need to smell it. I have to. I want to. Right? I'm sure
Yeah.
it's going to be gross, but then I'm going to appreciate it because it's so weird.
Mhm.
I don't know. Is that a weird thing to say?
No.
Yeah.
The thing that scares me though is that you guys talking about paper mills and the smell that's associated with that. I know what that is, and it bothers me because the byproduct of using caustic soda on wood to separate the fibers and turn it into pulp releases hydrogen sulfide gas.
Nice.
So you basically rotten egg farts is what you're smelling, right? And the thing is that hydrogen sulfide doesn't take a lot, like less than 10 parts per million will
Mhm.
trigger that response, right?
Yeah.
But if you go from 10 parts per million to 100 parts per million, just one order of magnitude, it's instant death or you will be knocked unconscious. And the thing about it is that your brain will only register up to about 10 or 15 parts per million, and anything above that is so overwhelming to your olfactory system you won't smell anything. And so
Oh.
it's why you see a lot of deaths in the oil field industry, because there will be a well that will spring a gas leak and release massive amounts of hydrogen sulfide into the air surrounding the well. And it's
Mhm.
at such a high concentration that guys will go out to go check on something, and they'll drive up to a site and they'll open the door, get out of the
Pass
truck,
out.
and they'll die.
Wow.
Whoa.
They'll just drop the fuck dead.
That's
Wow.
gnarly. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you though, it's a unique smell. It
It's a unique
smells.
smell for as long as you can smell it. Yes.
Yeah.
And then if you can't, well, I mean, if you can't smell it, you won't know because you'll be flat on the fucking ground.
But it's just it's a I don't know, one of those things. Like it smells
Yeah.
bad objectively, but
It is. Yep.
it is unique.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what D-Walk's least favorite smell is, given some of the places where he works and is
Oh,
involved
that's
in.
true. Yeah.
All right. I can give you 3 different ones.
Okay.
Okay.
One is work.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, 2 are work.
Okay.
One of them, dude, it was that this one isn't work, but when Pat and Oscar's had a restaurant at the local mall, and that smell from the drains outside,
Oh.
Oh.
just like you couldn't even eat there walking past the smell because your stomach
Ugh.
just was like, you know what? Nope,
Ugh.
nope. Like, not to mention that pizza like fucked up my stomach. I learned that like twice, and I never went back. Like, I don't know what it was about that cheese and Little Caesars pizza, dude. You and me,
Oh
nope.
no.
If I'll never eat Little Caesars because you won't be friends with me after. Because I'll destroy whatever place I'm in because that's the closest I can get to, and we're you'll be like, yeah, you know what? We're not inviting D-Walk again.
Pat and Oscars, huh?
Yeah, dude.
They're
And
just
then
no longer in business.
nope. I wonder why.
Wonder why.
Vinegar. Because my
Acetic
mom
acid.
cleaned everything with it.
Oh, okay.
So like if I puked or something as a kid or something, that's what she cleaned with.
And then
So
you puke again.
Most favorite flavor of chips is salt and vinegar.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I can't stand vinegar.
Uh,
But with work, there was a rubber blend, and we normally have our own rubber plant. We blend our own stuff, but
yeah.
it was called like terminal rubber, and it was blended at the refinery. It was TR. I called it terminal, but it was
Yeah.
TR.
Okay.
It was blended at the refinery, and if depending where they got one of the ingredients,
Mhm.
this shit set off like um I've never smelled a paper mill, but for the way you guys were describing it, if we ran this shit at our Lake Elsinore plant, the high school, the exit down the freeway would shut down because they thought there was a gas leak.
Sulfur sucks in
And
any form.
like they're like, oh, we added a additive, you won't smell it. I'm like,
Uh-uh.
fuck you.
Yeah.
My wife smelled it on my clothes. She smelled it on my truck. She couldn't get away. She's like, I know what you did today.
Yep.
So there was one. I don't remember the name of the chemical. When we do solvent extractions, we would have to get it. It smelled like cat piss, but we would have to use like a little bit of it to reactivate the ash
Mm,
when we were cooking it
yeah.
off. And this shit was just, you opened it and the lab just, you couldn't get away from it. And it's a small little jar, like 4-ounce jar or something. We couldn't get away from this shit. And dude, I don't even know where my boss bought it because he was acting all weird when he brought it in because we needed it. But like, I don't know where he got it.
Oh, I mean, it could have been a couple of things. It could have been
Yeah.
ammonia. It could have been formaldehyde. Um, there are a lot. I mean, almost all of it goes. Everything almost always ties back to sulfur. If something smells like
Yep.
shit, if something smells awful, it's got sulfur in it somewhere.
Yep.
It's either a sulfonated compound or a mercapto compound or something. But it all fucking boils back down to sulfur.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so again, my least favorite smell is cat shit.
Mm.
And just like dog shit to me, like I was raised around horses and cows and so like and to me it's just like that smells like shit, right? Like you smell it and
Right.
it smells like shit, like horse shit, cow shit, even dog shit. It's shit, right?
Right.
Cat shit is from some other fucking planet. Like cat shit smells so acrid and acidic to me, and I'll like the only time that a smell has really ever driven me to the edge of like I was going to throw up was back at our old house. I was mowing the yard and didn't realize, I guess some cat came along and took a shit in my yard and I stepped in it, and like just followed me anywhere, and it was just like it was so wretched that I was like, I had to fucking throw the shoe away. Like it was bad.
Wow.
I don't know what I mean, maybe that cat had a really bad diet or something, but like it was obnoxiously awful. And yeah, there's very few things on this planet that I will say, ugh, I don't want to smell. Cat shit is right up there, man. It is at the very top.
Can I hint at an answer? I don't want to change my answer because I think eventually you grow to duck shit. Have you ever smelled duck shit in like high density?
No.
Oh my god. My ex-girlfriend had a pet duck that she kidnapped from a lake. Her and her friend. She kept it in her bathroom, in her upstairs
Oh
bathroom.
no.
And like this duck used to just hang out in there. One day it ate change off the table. It ate a nickel. Okay. We put it way high up so he couldn't get up there, but he found a way, jumped and flapped and got on top and ate a nickel. He was shitting blue for like a long time.
Oh no.
Right? Thought he was gonna die from heavy metal poisoning because why would a duck eat a nickel? But he just did. So he was shitting all the time. So she had to go to work. I was supposed to go check on the duck. I walked into the room, opened the door. There was so much duck shit everywhere. It just couldn't control it. It was blue and white and weird colored. And as soon as I opened the door, the smell hit me like I got punched in the fucking face. It was so savagely brutal. And I like that one would look, it's unique,
Ugh.
but I think that one I can clearly quantify as bad.
Mhm.
That the gag thing that you talked about, like
Yeah.
that is very much what that was. Sorry, I didn't mean that.
No, it's fine. But I was Googling something here, and I love going down these rabbit holes. There is
As
something
long as it's not a
called
duck hole, you're fine.
no. There's something called duck shit tea.
What?
Oh no, dog, no.
That sounds disgusting.
It's not what you think though. But the story behind it is fucking. So there's something called duck shit aroma tea, which is part of the revered Golden Phoenix families of tea that come from the Phoenix Mountain region around the Guangdong province of China. The tea is grown like most other tea and everything. It's leaves that are plucked from a bush or a grove or something like that. But
Mhm.
the farmer that came up with this particular blend of oolong tea has this special growing method and harvesting method, and he wanted to keep it to himself. He wanted to keep it secret. He didn't want people coming around and figuring out how he was making this tea. The tea is actually supposedly very, very good. It doesn't taste anything like duck shit or anything.
Okay.
But so that people would stop asking him questions about it, he decided the best way to do it was just to give it a really obnoxiously horrible, unattractive name. And so when people would ask what the secret was, he would just say duck shit.
Whoa.
And people wouldn't fucking ask anything about it. And the name stuck. So now it's called duck shit oolong tea.
Wow.
But it has nothing to do with tasting or smelling like duck shit. It's just the guy wanted to turn off anybody that was trying to copy his methods or it's like, well, shit, if your stuff's made out of duck shit, I don't want to touch it. And that's how he was able to keep it a secret for like decades. So
That's
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, all right. So we'll go on to question number 10.
Okay.
Rachel, exercise worth it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to like go to the gym every single day, but I
Right.
think, being able to like jog a little bit, walk for a while, lift something kind of heavy, I think that does improve your quality of life.
Okay. I think that's a perfectly reasonable answer. Now for the counterpoint. Dees, exercise worth it?
I mean, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I guess.
I
I mean, I'm
guess.
aware that it's required to live, but I'm not a fan.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
Like the thing is, I almost would prefer to not be alive. Look, okay, here's my thing. Okay, so for exercise, there's two facets of it that make me fucking crazy. The first
Okay.
facet of it is that it is one of the dumbest fucking looking things in the world. If you just think about it for just a second, it's like one of the stupidest fucking things. It sounds like something dumb people do for fun. It's like pick up that heavy thing, put it
Yep.
right
Back
down where
down.
you fucking found it,
The
and
same
do
spot.
that over and over again.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
And I'm like, can I at least move it somewhere? Like, just so I feel like I'm progressing, because this is ridiculous. Lift that heavy thing and put it down. Sit on that fucking chair and make your legs kick out and then put it right back to where it was. It sounds like a dumb person's hobby. It just does. Okay. That being said,
Right.
I do understand that is necessitous, right?
Okay.
I think a good way for me to exercise is to find a game
Mhm.
and then do that.
Yeah.
And exercise will happen as a byproduct, right? So playing basketball,
Yeah.
playing football, playing baseball, something like that. I can have fun doing that, and then that will be exercise, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just can't do the fucking exercise.
Repetitive motion.
It's so stupid. It's so
Yeah.
stupid. Like, hey, go run, but stay exactly where you are. It's like, what are we talking about? Buy a fucking bike. Just
Yeah.
do anything that has a purpose. Like, it just feels like a waste of fucking time to me when you're not doing anything. Go play
Mhm.
baseball. Like,
Yeah.
basketball is super exciting and fun and high speed, and there's a lot of fucking, do that.
Mhm.
But if you try to get me to like treadmill,
Right.
dog, Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I can't imagine my life being about lifting a heavy thing and putting it back down. I know there are weightlifters out there who love that shit. They're like, look how many heavy things I lifted. I'm like,
Mhm.
and yet it's right where you found it. You know? If you
Yeah.
pick it up and some guy's trying to tackle you and you can get it across a line, I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
But I can see you put it right back in the divots on the place that it sat before you got here. You are irrelevant to this. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry if that's
No. I mean, that's the
running is for not dying to animals. I don't know why people do it for fun. I don't get it. Like, I'll walk a long distance if you want to do that, but run? Why?
Yeah.
There's no time limit. I'm not going to be late for the run. I'm the one that wanted to do it. I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be late.
Mhm.
If I don't make it, I'll finish tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean? But like, now I'll put a fucking mountain lion behind me. Watch me go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need a motivation, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Deese is very much throwing off vibes of how George Carlin described golf as a sport. It's like imagine the amount of intellect it takes to hit a ball with a crooked stick and then walk after it and then hit it again. He's like, pick it up, you motherfucker. You're lucky you found the fucking thing. Put it in your pocket and go home. It's like,
yeah, I mean, look, as long as there's a purpose to it, I feel okay. But like,
Mhm.
I always laugh at like the people who like really lift weights, like the bodybuilder types.
Yeah.
Once you get to a certain point, you can't wipe your ass anymore. Right? You got those back of the arm bubbles. You know what I'm talking about on the torso?
Uh-huh.
when you can't reach down and grab your own dick, that's when you should probably
No,
stop.
it's like because they have those big meat bubbles that appear like, you know what I'm talking about? Like the balloon meat bubbles that appear right on the back underneath where the arm and the shoulder connect, right?
Yeah.
And those literally impede your arm going back behind you. And I thought, well, you don't do that. And I'm like, you wipe your ass like that. How do you wipe your butt? What do you reach underneath your to what, like from the front?
I mean, if that's what they got to do, I guess that's what they got to do.
I bet there's a device. I bet, and they just don't talk about it. But I bet that if you're at that like high level where you run into that issue, I bet that there's a device. I bet there's like a hooked
sumo wrestlers hire
plastic device with like a little hook that you can put paper on.
Mhm.
And I bet that's
I am not putting a hook near that.
Well,
I think they just have a toilet brush and they just scrub that bitch clean.
I think you have to use a bidet, and I think it has to fire with immense accuracy and fucking firepower.
Well, I mean, think about
at least
how much
like a
protein.
Super Soaker 350.
Yeah, but think how much protein they fucking eat, right? I mean, it's all protein that they consume.
It's coming out like chalk. Just pulverizes the turd.
I mean, you've heard of the phrase "shitting bricks," but you didn't think it happened literally, and then here we are.
Yeah, it's like trying to shoot an air compressor between two heavy bags. Like that's your butt cheeks, right? And like when you're that when you're that, all you sneeze one time, you fucking break something, like a rib cage or something.
Yeah.
I used to laugh like people that had like all those super abs, like those bodybuilders. I was like, if you put your pinky in there and they sneeze, you lost the finger.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck those guys. They're creepy, man. And they're all oiled up and shit. It's a whole mess. It's a whole mess.
Mhm.
They're slippery and they're like made of like knobs of it's like if you stitched a bunch of hams together, like, and then honey coated them, and it is like, now go out there and make weird shapes with your fucking weird fucking proto body, you fucking monster. you fucking meat goblin, go flex, you freak. Go fucking flex, you freak.
Oh my god. When I
This
was
weird, look at them. Look how greasy and weird they look. They're so like, they look like they have their own slip and slide. You just push them down the street, man. They're fucking nasty. And you get up, they got gravel stuck to them. Ugh. Ugh. That shit is wretched. That shit is gross. Sorry, I'm sorry. I just mean the big ones, like the regular guys, whatever, but the really big meaty fucks, those guys creep me the fuck out, man. The heart's over there pumping like once every 6 hours, just trying desperately to move blood through those big balloon arms. Ugh. Fucking gross. Fucking blood like gravy. Just move fucking slow. Oh. Ugh.
Get out there.
It's so nasty, man. I'm sorry. Just look at a picture. Ugh.
Get out there, you greased up meat goblin, and do your weird flexes. Oh,
So
God.
nasty looking. We just don't talk about it. We're just like, oh, look how good he is. I'm like, what? You're bodybuilding, but what body are you building? Because that don't look human to me anymore. You look like a fucking
Oh my
sentient
God.
trapezoid.
When I was a kid, my mom was really into like the bodybuilding scene. And like she would get like bodybuilding magazines delivered to our house, and she would go to bodybuilding competitions like in other towns and stuff. And she would like bring me, and then I would sit in some like weird hotel while she would go to bodybuilding competitions.
Oh.
God, so gross.
Uh,
Everybody's like this weird, like orangey fucking
Yeah.
film.
Yes.
Yes.
Everybody looks like they're made of leather. It's just ugh.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
very I'm also going to point out another thing that you didn't draw attention to, but I'm going to do so in the form of a joke.
Okay.
So a bodybuilder takes off his shirt at a gym and starts flexing, and he catches the attention of a blonde woman, and she kind of walks over behind him. She goes, "Wow, what a great chest you have." And he looks at her and he flexes his pecs and he goes, "Solid dynamite, babe." Then he takes his pants off and she looks at him. He starts flexing his leg muscles. She's like, "Wow, you've got these massive muscular calves." And he's like, "Yeah, like I said, pure dynamite, sweetheart." Then for some reason, he removes his underwear and the woman runs off screaming in fear. And he doesn't understand the reaction. So he gets dressed and he runs after her, and he finally catches up to her and he goes, "Why did you go running off like that?" She's like, "Look, I was afraid to be around all that dynamite when I saw how short the fuse was." And that's the other thing, is that it's like, it's like there's a whole lot of ham, right? And then there's like 2 little raisins.
Well, you're pulling the skin so hard, it doesn't have a chance.
Well, it's not just that.
It's
It's like,
like those pecs are so fucking huge. You're just lifting skin. You're pulling it so tight. It's literally just pushing that dick back in. There's no extra skin. And what happens? Like, you ever wonder like Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Real
right.
top heavy, big balloon man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, he can't keep that up forever. You can't eat 16 pounds of chicken every
No.
breakfast. You know what I mean? You can't do
No.
that shit.
Right.
So like, have we seen him in a short sleeve shirt lately? I mean, I just want to know.
There's a lot of loose skin going on.
There's gotta be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's gotta be. Whatever.
I know.
He
Where's your scrotum? Well, it's up around my thorax.
You gotta get that wicked pump on until your balls are halfway up your back. It's like just fucking
Well, I
weird.
mean, if it's not the stretching of the skin, it's all the steroids. So,
I don't know.
Mhm.
It's just look, I think being healthy, being fit is fine.
Mhm.
Right?
But
But
like
when
everything
you
else, don't take it to an extreme.
Yeah, man. Like,
Yeah.
good God. It's just, you know?
Yeah.
D-walk exercise. Worth it?
Proverbs 28 verse 1 says, "Only the wicked run when they're not being chased."
No.
Hey, there it is.
There it is.
Look at that. I could be the Pope. That's what it sounded like I said earlier.
Yeah.
I've lost more weight changing my diet than I ever did exercising.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Went to a gym for a year. Fucking didn't drop a pound. Diet's where the control is.
Yeah, if you're looking
yeah.
to lose weight, it's diet.
Yeah,
But
it's
if you're
diet.
looking for being able to go up a couple flights of stairs without having to, stop between floors, then you
Yep.
want to exercise.
Elevator.
There it is. Exercise
There it
your
is.
mind. Exercise your mind, Rachel.
Yes.
No, I think
Teasing
I
her.
think exercise is
Yeah.
good. I think it's clearly a good thing. I don't think it's bad, but I just think that the mindless exercise of like exercise to exercise, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You
Oh
know what I
yeah.
mean? There should be a purpose to the things you do, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
That's my only thinking.
Gyms are an entire industry built on the concept of body dysmorphia. That's all you need to know. So, from my perspective, exercise, and I'm like D-Walk, and to Rachel's point, where when I have lost weight, and I'm definitely in need of doing so again, for damn sure. That's what 3 years of COVID and 2 years of sitting in a fucking cubicle will do to you. Yes, diet definitely makes the biggest impact, but
Mhm.
there is something to be said for, like you say, increasing your cardiovascular health so that
Mhm.
you can drop weight, but you still may not be able to go 10 steps without, or you get winded combing your hair or
Yeah.
something like that, right? So I think you can put those two things hand in hand and you can make a huge impact.
Mhm.
But again, it's like gym bros and it's like, who are you trying to impress, right? I mean, there is something to be said for wanting to be healthy, and then there's where it kind of starts to be a little bit more ego driven and
Just work out so you're
narcissistic.
healthy, not that so that you need to buy
Yeah.
special
Right.
shirts.
And don't right. And if you're going to the gym to work out in order to try and impress somebody else, then you're doing it, I think, for the wrong reason.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe you should read some shit so you're more interesting to talk to, so that if you're not fucking like, I don't know. I think a lot
Yeah.
of times like there's like an extreme, right?
Mhm.
Exercising's good.
Yeah.
Get your exercise however you want to get it, right? And
Mhm.
if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
cool with running and not moving and fucking lifting things and putting them right back where you found them, that's
Yep.
fine, right?
Mhm.
If it do what makes you feel good, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But for me, I know that that's I feel so dumb doing it. I just sit there and I pick something up and I put it back down and I'm like, I could have taken this somewhere else. And I could have got points for it.
Right.
Mhm.
That would have been ideal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You need competition with your exercise. Is that basically what you're saying?
I don't know that I need competition a little bit for anything. I fucking
Yeah.
brush my teeth next to another person. I'm doing it better than them. Right? Just a little. I mean, a
Right.
little. I don't need to we don't need to keep records, but I just need you to know that I'm winning.
Yeah.
You know?
Competitive toothbrushing.
Mhm.
Man, I get that shit
Next
done. I
on
go
ESPN Ocho.
4 minutes on an electric. They say 2.5, but man, I'm going fucking 4 or 5 sometimes. I'm trying to
Just
brush them down to the little
it was
pointy bit.
going to say you're wearing all the enamel off of your teeth and completely destroying anything beneficial that toothbrushing would do for you.
You know what? I want to tell you the honest truth. If they would tell me that it was more cost effective to bolt in some metal teeth, I would do that shit. I just think, fucking, who are we kidding here? Metal teeth
Yeah.
are better than fucking bone teeth.
Just go the full jaws and be done with it, huh?
You know what I mean? I just smile and put my head in a dishwasher, call it a day. Whatever.
All right. Question 11.
Okay.
Water, flat or sparkling?
Flat.
These?
Flat, man. What fucking, it's not a party.
Okay.
It's water.
D-Walk.
Sparkling.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I am the worst at drinking water.
I'm judging you.
Do you do
Yeah.
the flavored sparkling water?
Doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, but I don't do the ones that actually have salt or anything. I mean, I need something with the water to make it go down.
Mhm.
I'm that bad. No lie. I
Wow.
ain't gonna lie to you for it.
Nate?
Flat, but I'll say flat with an asterisk in that, yeah, occasionally if I'm drinking water just to drink water, having a little bit of flavor is not necessarily a bad thing for me. But it's always amazing to me, like during the summer when it's 103 degrees and the wet bulb temperature is like 115, and I'm out mowing the yard in the backyard at 7 a.m. and still sweating my ass off because the humidity's like, I'll come in and I'll grab a bottle of water and drink it, and my body's like, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever drank in my
Absolutely.
entire life. Like, there's this weird area I have to be in where suddenly water is fantastic and I'll drink shitloads of it. And then But like, if you were to ask me to go conscientiously get a bottle of water right now and just drink it for the sake of drinking, I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to do that.
Okay, this is another thing that we need to talk about. People overhydrate now, like to a fucking obscene degree.
Take a
right?
drink before you leave the house, you fucking asshole. Be
Look,
done with it.
There's like I have a bottle of water, and like I was trying to drink like they said on the internet to drink water, and I felt like I was going to die. Like I just felt like there's too much water. I'm huge. I'm 6'3". There's
Mhm.
no fucking reason that a normal fucking 5'8". By the way, see that, Rachel? Normal 5'8".
What?
Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like these fucking like Pilates girls should be drinking that much water. There's no fucking way you can put that shit away. Here's a pro tip who
Mhm.
from not a doctor, but a person who's lived for a long time and is not dried up and fucking fizzled away, right? When you're thirsty, drink water.
Mhm.
If your mouth gets dry, drink some water,
Yeah.
right? And that's it. Because if you drink all that water, all you're doing is peeing, right? You're just peeing 45 times a day. How is that helping anybody? You're just getting rid of the excess. Just drink what you need. You don't need to fucking, you're not a fish. You're fine. Right?
Mm.
You know, like 36 fucking ounces of water a day. People, I've seen them. They walk around with like empty milk jugs filled
Yep.
with water.
Yeah.
Those big
Yeah,
what are you doing?
I've got a guy at work that does that. You will see him walking amongst the cubicles, and he's got a giant 1 gallon container of Ozarka spring water, and
Mhm.
he will drink on that motherfucker all day long.
Well, drink on it all day long. That's fine. But I'm talking about why do you need that much if you're gonna drink it all day long? Can you just fill it up somewhere in between and
yeah,
not
it's
carry
like
this fucking
it's an
monster?
obnoxious. Yeah, no, exactly. It's an obnoxious. It's an obnoxious thing. I was
I had a
doing
friend that used to
some.
carry a camel pack around with him. And I'm like, my guy, we live in a fucking first world country. You're fine. You can get water anywhere. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just getting
Yeah.
agitated as we get further on. Sorry.
All right, so this will be an interesting one, I think.
Okay.
Number 12, Rachel, what is the most used app on your phone?
Oh. Actually, I did, now that I'm thinking about it, I recently went on to my time settings and I adjusted it so that I can only look at Instagram and Facebook like on my phone like max an hour a day or something because I felt like I was looking at them too much.
Yeah.
But it shows you like what apps you look at the most. Um and recently I look at like my finance apps the most because I moved recently and I spent a lot of money last month just in the moving process. And I know that like I will sometimes sort of obsessively do something if I get worried about it and like just legitimately I'm like worried about my money and so I like will check my bank account multiple times a day. Even like between like I won't spend anything for days, but I will still check the same accounts multiple times a day because I'm just worried. I will
worried
like
about go spending that money.
I'm just concerned about just because like I spent so much money last month because I basically paid rent for 2 different apartments and I did a deposit and I paid movers. So I I could afford it, but it was a frightening amount of money for me. And so now my brain is in like every like 30 minutes I have to check my accounts. So
bank apps.
Mental illness at the moment is responsible for my app usage.
Oh, okay. Dees, most used app on your phone.
I'm just looking to confirm, actually, but it's sort of misleading because it resets when I charge, which I just did recently. So I was thinking it was probably Facebook, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's probably YouTube or the Chrome browser. Most used is probably the Chrome browser because I look things up all day long. Like oh, what does that mean? And I'll like look it up real
Yeah.
quick. Or, oh, how does that work? And I'll look it up. So like probably multiple times a day, probably like maybe 500 times a day, 600 times a day, I'll look something up just to know how it works. But like for the longest amount of time, probably YouTube,
Hmm.
just because
Mhm.
like if I'm drawing or if I'm doing anything, I'm listening to the news or I'm listening to music or something. So like I think YouTube's got to be, I think most used instances is Chrome to just get answers to things I want to know.
Yeah.
But duration is probably YouTube.
Mm.
Yeah, also YouTube. I look stuff up on there too. So probably YouTube.
Mhm.
Okay. D-Walk?
Spotify.
Ah.
Hey, I don't know if you guys have seen the yearly totals of my minutes that it says I
Oh.
spend listening to music.
Yeah.
Because your drives to work.
Drive to work, I have it blaring in my lab all day long. And yeah, it's Spotify is the most used one. It never turns off.
I
Mhm.
miss Groove Shark. You remember Groove Shark?
No.
No.
Fucking nerds.
What is that?
Groove Shark was like a music thing.
Uh,
And it was like you could customize playlists on it. It was better than Spotify at customizing playlists because it would suggest things that you'd like better than Spotify does. Spotify wants to make money. Groove Shark was free.
Yeah.
So its algorithm was more consistent. But I haven't used it in a long time since we stopped drinking with my friends.
Uh,
We used to use it all the time for that because you'd tell it to play like Streetlight Manifesto, like some ska band or whatever, and it would just pick other good bands of that genre forever.
Yeah.
It was great.
Hmm.
Anyway,
I decided to look because I had an inkling, and my inkling was pretty darn close. On the average, especially if I look back over like the last month, YouTube
yep.
is the most used app I have. Chrome comes in
Yeah.
a real close second, and Microsoft Teams comes in a real close third, thanks to my
Oh.
job.
That's
Yeah,
that's a butthurt number right there. That
that's a
sucks.
Yeah.
butthurt number. But that is the top three far and away compared to anything else.
Yeah.
Most other apps maybe get 2 to 3 minutes of usage a day, but those are at the top.
Mhm.
I mean, app on my phone. Yeah, I think that's it. YouTube and for the way that I think you and me use the internet, particularly Nate, I think they're very. I think maybe you too, Rachel. I know you look stuff up when you're
Yeah.
curious, right?
Yeah.
D-Walk, do you do that? Do you just look stuff up because you don't know it?
Yeah, all the time.
I I think our generation's good about that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think some people just go on not knowing things. Because I remember
Yeah.
what it was like to have to just not know something until you could get to the fucking library or could be bothered to look it up in a fucking
Encyclopedia.
encyclopedia. My parents had an encyclopedia that was out of date when I had it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
could just tell. I was like, well, that's not right.
I wouldn't consider Chrome like one of the apps I use the most because I will just whatever, like if I'm on my phone or my personal computer or my work computer, whatever I'm currently on and I want to look something up,
Yeah.
that's like what I will use to look up. And then I also watch a lot of video essays on YouTube about things like Afrin addiction
Yeah.
and um just
So
random stuff. Like it'll be like, oh, a 90-minute essay about a guy who faked like sailing around the world and he charted it and he had two different charts. I want to listen to that and I'll yeah, which was
no,
an
but
actual essay I watched and it was really fascinating.
just earlier today, I was playing on the PC
Mhm.
in a like trying to queue up for a battleground. I had like a bunch of menus open, and I like reached down to get my phone because I was curious about how an interaction would work. And I went online and I looked, and I couldn't find anything about it. So then I looked up another thing that has a similar interaction, and I
Mhm.
could find that one. And I was trying, but like, there's no way I could alt tab to the browser and then give my focus to that while waiting on a battleground.
Oh yeah.
So I almost exclusive. I've been trained to use my phone.
Mhm.
I'm on my phone way too much. Like, but I don't. I think when people talk about like phone addiction, they're talking about social media addiction, really.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't think I'm as bad at that anymore.
Mhm.
I'm still pretty bad at it, I'll be honest. But like my phone, 90% of its usage is listening to loud hip hop or looking up some fact about carbon dating. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, how does, you know, some scientists feel about the idea of string theory? Let me see that real quick. Oh, let me look that up on YouTube so I can listen to him talk about it. Like that's my phone addiction.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I don't think that's bad.
No.
No, I mean, it's a distraction, but
It's
it's a
valuable.
positive distraction. There is value to it because you're learning something. There's this guy. I don't. You may have seen his video. His name, I think it's Chris Bowden.
Hmm.
Chris Bowden is an electrician, and he does these videos about. He works in a power plant, and he does all of these informational videos on electricity and physics and magnetism and all this kind of stuff. And he does. I mean, he doesn't have a degree or anything, but he's a journeyman, right? I mean, he's
Yeah.
been doing electrical, but he's got this really fucked up kind of interesting story in that he started sort of like this educational co-op where he had like a lab and he was doing YouTube videos and he was bringing people in and teaching them about computers and all this kind of stuff, right? And he got into cryptocurrency when cryptocurrency wasn't a bad word, right? Like he
Right.
started off when it was early and people were trying to figure it out and actually utilize it for what it was designed for, as
Yeah.
opposed to the
It's a
meme that it's
grift.
become now. It's a
Right.
grift, right? So he would teach classes to people about how to set up a wallet and how to purchase their first bit of Bitcoin and things like that. And as part of his classes, he would donate. He would basically give everyone that came to his class, like at the time was like $5 worth of Bitcoin, right? And this is when Bitcoin was still like a
Yeah.
Bitcoin, right? It's not
Uh-huh.
like 40,000 fucking dollars. So he started doing this thing and he was teaching people. And as time went on, he started kind of amassing not like millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, right? But he had a small stash, and that's kind of what he was giving people, free Bitcoin because it was still low in value. But he was starting to get more interest in people wanting to buy it. And so he was buying larger chunks of it and then turning around and selling it for cash. And, people would come in, pay him, and it was a legitimate transaction until it kind of didn't start becoming a legitimate transaction anymore. And he didn't realize that he had kind of gotten looped into this whole money laundering
Yeah.
thing without realizing it.
Yeah.
And the fucking FBI came in and raided him, and he ended up serving like 24 months in prison for what effectively turned out to be. And they couldn't really nail him on much, but they came in. And I mean, like they raided his compound. He tells the whole story, and like it was like SWAT and like all these people pouring, and it's just him and his friend, fucking goofy electrician dorks, like they came in expecting this guy to have like hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash and everything, and he had like 4 grand. Like it was nothing. And he goes, and I think the only reason why I ended up in prison was because they wanted to make an example out of me, not because I actually really technically did anything wrong. He goes, did I break the law? Yes. He goes, was I breaking the law willingly and nefarious? No, I was just
Mhm.
doing what I thought I was kind of helping people out until I realized, oh fuck, someone came in and bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin to go buy cocaine with. Oops, that makes me
Yeah.
an accessory. But it was too late by that point, right?
But that's the nature of Bitcoin, right?
That's the
It's
nature
not.
of you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But he does. So I mean, he served his time. He came out. He's rehabilitated, whatever. While he was in prison, he like taught inmates to read and write and do math, and so he was able to like shorten his sentence down by doing all that. When he got out, of course, he's a felon, right? So he's got a hard time finding jobs, but he found someone who would give him a job, and he's been working at his power plant. And slowly but surely, by building up, and now I think he's like over like 400,000 subscribers. I mean, he's getting way up there, and he's got massive views on all of his videos and his short reels teaching people about electricity and magnetism and all this kind of stuff. And he does it in a very down to earth. He's on the spectrum. You can tell by the way that he's very energetic about how he talks about things and stuff like that. But he's built this audience up, and like those videos are now coming up on my reel more often, and I've learned shit that
Mhm.
it's like, oh, you know, like I kind of sort of knew about that, but then I'll go, like you say, you'll start seeking things out. It's like, well,
Yep.
how the fuck does a magnetron work in a fucking microwave? I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna go
You're
look it
curious.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't. Will I use this information? No, probably not. But do
No,
I
you
have
will.
it?
That's the thing, is that
Yeah,
you will, because if you have access to it, you will. You'll
yeah,
apply it to some other thing. That's why I don't think there's any of the stuff that you can learn that's bad, right?
Mhm.
yeah,
Like learning just a stupid, offhanded, curious thing that you're interested in. You file it away, and then a year later, you're thinking about something completely different, and then you're like, oh wait, it works kind of like that thing that I know
yeah.
now. I think it's good to. I don't think addiction to phone, if you're looking up answers or just curiously searching, I don't think that's bad, and you can't convince me it is.
Yeah. But if all you're doing is watching influencers on TikTok and trying to
Yeah.
figure out what the fucking Kardashians are doing this week, then yeah, you should probably go put your head
Yeah.
in an oven and be
Or
done
if
with
you're
it.
just comparing yourself to other people, I think that's a bad thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think it's
I
bad to just do that. I
yeah,
think when I was getting into art, trying to get better, like early on, I would only follow other artists if I thought they were better than me. And then once I thought I was better than them, I'd remove them from my follows,
yeah,
and I'd go find another artist I thought was better, and I'd add them.
Mhm.
And I did that for like a really long time until I realized that it kind of seemed like a dick move whenever I'd unfollow somebody, like, hey, what's going on? And I'm like,
yeah,
uh so I stopped doing that, but I thought it was a
yeah,
good system for a while
yeah.
until you get to know those people, and then there's like, why'd you unfollow me? I'm like, I'm better than you now, and I don't work all day to make me feel like shit so that I grind harder.
Yeah.
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 All
Oh,
right, next. I'm sorry, next thing.
no. This is okay. So, question number 13. We're nearing
Okay.
the end here. This one's Rachel.
Yes.
You get one song to listen to for the rest of your life.
Oh,
What is that song?
Okay,
wow.
hold up before you answer. There are because I've watched a bunch of these. There
Okay.
are some explanations. Okay,
Okay.
Okay.
you can set out to listen to any song you want,
Uh-huh.
but it will be the song that you're going to name. You don't have to listen to it unendingly. It doesn't have to play in the background of your head all day long. But
Yeah.
if
Mhm.
you're going to hear music, it will be that. No matter what you look up, it will be this. That's how it works. Okay.
Wow.
So there you go.
Okay. Wow, this is like immense pressure.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's hard.
I'm gonna go with Griftwood by Ghost. It's one of my favorite songs by them, and I think it's a very fun song.
What's it called?
Griftwood.
Okay. That's good. You can
Mhm.
listen to it forever.
I've
Right on.
decided. Yeah.
All right. Dees.
So it was really hard because I get annoyed by things very easily.
Yeah.
But you don't
Uh,
have to listen to it all the time, right?
Yeah, but it's the only song I get to listen to for the rest of my life.
True.
It's rough, right?
Yeah.
So like, I think I would like it to be a Bob Dylan song,
Oh.
but I don't think it is.
Oh.
See, that's where I'm at because I like the Bob Dylan song so much that I'd prefer to just have a fond memory of it than as to have to hate it eventually.
Mhm.
I think the least likely song for me to hate is Bohemian Rhapsody because it has a lot of different changes to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has some tonal changes and some style changes, and it's relatively long. So
Mhm.
I like that one. I think that's the one. Though I did listen to the song "Exist" by Avenged Sevenfold like 8 times in a row the other day, and it's a 15-minute song. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a
I
good one
I
too.
I still think Bohemian Rhapsody though.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
D-Walk.
It's an instrumental.
Mm.
The Blood of Chuchalin.
Why does that sound familiar to me?
It is the kind of the opening thing to the Boondock Saints movie.
There it is. That's why I know.
Um,
Okay.
Okay.
and it's instrumental. It's lighthearted. It just it's relaxing.
Mhm.
There's
Right
no
on.
words, so it's not like I'm gonna get like words stuck in my head over and over and over.
Right.
That's fair. I would think Chopin maybe for me, but there's no way I could do that over and over again.
Mm.
Just because, once you know the moves, it sort of feels,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God.
I
that's a
know.
tough one.
Mm. If I could only choose one song, I
Sugar
can
Rays every morning.
no, I can narrow it down to
Crazy Town's
3.
Butterfly.
Oh God, fuck no.
Oh,
Oh Jesus, no.
you're my butterfly, sugar
I,
Good
baby.
baby.
I can narrow
Oh.
it down to 3.
Mhm.
Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. I can
Okay.
do that one. Satan is My Motor by Cake.
That's a good one, but
Hmm.
I'm with you though, but it would get old.
Yeah, and then probably The Main Character by Will Wood. Those could be the 3, maybe. And I don't know. Like I can't. I'd almost be willing to say I would just not rather listen to music at all than to try
Oh,
and pick one song. And I know that's
Wow.
because it's like my taste in music changes on a weekly or monthly basis. I don't really have a favorite song. I don't really have a favorite band. I really don't have a favorite genre. I'm one of those people that when I hear something I like, it gets slotted into my repertoire. And that repertoire is weird. It's everything from soundtracks to classical to, you name it, it's in there. And it's just, and like, it isn't that I'm attached to the band. It's not, and sometimes I'm not even attached to the lyrics of the song. Sometimes it's just the melody that hooks into my brain and does something. It's like, yep, I like this one.
Mhm.
So it's really hard for me to answer this question because I don't,
how about
I don't know. It's hard. That's a
Roundabout
really
by
fucking hard.
Yes? Roundabout by Yes is progressive enough that I could pick out little bits of it over and over again every time I listen
And
to
you'd be
it.
fine with it.
Maybe just because I need something new and I could focus on a different part of it.
Yeah.
Maybe yes,
Yeah.
Roundabout by Yes, maybe.
I think Stairway to Heaven would also be really good
Yeah,
because
I've
that
heard
has
that
sort
song
of
too
like
many
different.
times.
Oh.
I've heard it too many times.
Oh, okay.
I know what you mean.
Freebird.
Jesus, kill me. You know what wouldn't be the worst?
Hmm.
Give me back my bullets. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Just because you could listen to that when you're walking around,
Yeah.
it just seemed like a badass.
Yeah. That's so hard. I don't know that I can really answer. I mean, I hate to defer and not be able to give an answer, but I
You
think
got to answer. I'm going to change my answer to yes.
okay.
Roundabout.
Okay.
I think Beethoven's Fifth, just because there are so many movements and so many of those movements are so disparate but they all flow together as a total piece, but there are portions of it that are wildly different than other portions of it, such that there's enough variety in there and there's enough of that mental hook.
Yeah.
I could go with that
Okay.
and I'd be fine with it because because, and I say that because if I'm working, if I want to listen to a song and I'm not trying to focus on anything, then a song with lyrics or a song with, just a very chaotic melody or is fine. But if I want to work and focus on something, classical is what does it for me, right?
Yeah. No,
So
I'm with you. I listen to classical all the time.
yeah, so I think I'd have to go to there. I don't know that I like my answer, but that's what I'll go with.
Yeah.
All right, number 14, and this is going to be weird because I can't answer this question, and you'll understand why when I ask it.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Rachel,
Yes.
what number am I thinking of?
No, we have to ask. Each person has to ask the next person.
Okay, all
Okay.
right, that's fair. Okay, Rachel, what number am I thinking of?
Um, 72.
No, you're real close.
Okay.
I was just doing the old trope of 69. But 72 is 69 with 3 fingers up your ass. So we're all good there. It's close enough.
Oh my God. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, the close, very close. Okay,
Mhm.
so Rachel, now you get
Okay.
to ask D.
All right.
Or no, you get to ask D. I'm sorry.
D's. What number am I thinking of?
Do you have one locked in?
Yes.
22.
No.
Was that close?
17.
Pretty close.
Mhm.
I'll
Pretty
take it.
close. All right. D's to D walk.
D-Walk. What number am I thinking of?
1, because you're the greatest of all time.
You know, it's surprising that that is true. I am the greatest of all time. That's not the number I was thinking of, though.
Oh.
You
5.
just-
No, you can't keep guessing.
No.
But no, it's not 5 either.
Okay.
What were you thinking of?
I don't have to tell you.
Oh.
What?
It was
Well,
64. He doesn't tell people on the
Oh,
show.
okay. Well, I didn't
okay.
know. Okay.
I was thinking of 64 though.
So he only tells them if they get it right?
Nobody ever gets it right. The point
Well, I was
is
about to
the
say,
point is
yeah.
point is to face your failure and how you react to it.
Okay.
At least that's what I think it is. He's never said that. But
He's
I
never
think-
said, okay.
I think the idea is to put a joke in there, but also there is a thing where it's like he thinks of a number. What number am I thinking of? And then they say it, and they'll like how you say it. Like, are you confident about it? Hoping that like you throw the ball up and you just look away like you're confident that's going to go in. If it goes in, you look like a good legend. So do you keep it together, or are you like, damn it, or like how do you?
Yeah.
It's about the asking more than the actual
Right.
thing. So D-Walk has to ask Nate.
Yep.
All right.
33.
No.
And it's so sad about it.
What?
I was
Nah, it's all
hoping
good.
someone would get it. Actually, statistically speaking, we should be saying 37, 73, 77, or 33.
Right.
3 or 7.
Yeah.
All fucked up. I had 14 in my head since we started.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You know what? I bet there is a right answer to there's a right answer. Knowing Stephen Colbert, there is probably a right answer to that question.
Yeah.
3791.
Yeah, you're talking about 3 for the 3 for the dwarf lords in their halls. Oh no, 3 for the elf.
Yeah.
3 for the elf lords in the sky, or elf kings in the sky.
Yeah.
7 for the dwarf lords in their halls of stone. 9 for mortal men doomed to die. 1 for the dark lord on the dark throne.
You got it.
In the land of Mordor where the shadows lie. One ring to bring them all, one ring to find them, one ring to bring them all in the darkness. Bind them in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I a real nerd should throw that number at him and just see if it freaks him out.
Boy, that'd be great if that was true.
I
Yeah.
know
If
that's
that was
what he's been waiting on the whole time. Yeah. All right. So we move on to the final question, and this is Rachel.
Yes.
Describe the rest of your life in 5 words.
Always bettering myself and happy.
Nice.
Dees,
Mhm.
describe the rest of your life in 5 words.
Bitch, I ain't say shit.
Very good. D-Walk.
Holy shit, I'm gonna die.
Oh. Oh. Describe the rest of my life in 5 words. Ow, goddammit, that fucking hurts.
God damn it, it's one word.
I'm going to say it's 1 word, yes.
Okay.
Right.
The way I
I
write
accept
it
the
is-
answer.
Yeah. Or alternatively, we just go with fuck.
No, put that down. Stop. This is pretty good. I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I just assume I'll be tortured at the end of my life, and that's what I like.
is that what you're saying? Yeah.
I ain't going out like no punk. You're gonna have to stab me, bitch.
Oh. And those are the 15 questions
I like
of the
those.
Colbert Questionnaire.
Yeah.
And now we are known.
Now we are known.
We know more about each other than when we started.
Mhm.
And that's a thing.
Also, I got to hear the words meat goblin, which I think is, and not in the way you normally hear it.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's been a while since I've laughed that hard. I think maybe the last time was
Booty, butt, cheek, fucking shit, butt ass, shitty ass, butt,
shitty butt man.
shitty butt man. Thanks for listening to Freelance Heroism. We really appreciate you coming in and listening. We also really appreciate all the people who support our Patreon. By supporting the Patreon, you're going to get behind the scene, uncut clips that you'll get to see sort of like maybe the tissue behind some of the edited, cleaned up content. And you'll get that whenever we have a big block of it to drop, as well as any updates or any information behind the scenes stuff that we think the Patreons would like to know. So if you'd like to support our Patreon and help us continue making the high quality, high octane podcast that you've come to expect, go ahead to patreon.com/freelance_heroism. Thank you. And as usual, the invoice is in the mail.